Just Face It radio show with evangelist Staffy Butler Blakely, where we face life victoriously. And now, here's your host.
You've got to face life victoriously.
Well, hello everyone. Yes. Welcome to another edition of the Just Face It show with your girl, Staffy B right here. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I am super duper excited that you have stayed up to hang out with me. Guess what? We get to take you over until the next day. Yes, so listen, if you've just about used up all your graces and mercies, if you hang out with me, you'll get a whole new set at 12:01. How you like that? How do you like that? That's the kind of God we serve. I pray that your Sunday was a great Sunday. Did I hear my people? Okay. Yeah. Okay, my people, they're here. You're here. I have great guests tonight, and I am excited. We're going to be continuing our conversation about domestic violence awareness. Oh my goodness, I have just the perfect people. All my people are perfect. Every guest that I bring on this show is just perfect for the topic, perfect for the situation. They are just right for it, and they are definitely proponents of assisting us with just facing things. And how do we face them? We face it victoriously. That is my mantra, and that is what I live by. That is what I go by. I am super excited. I hope you had an awesome time at your church today. I hope that you are trickling back into your brick and mortar if it's open, if you're online, if you are yet supporting your church. Church still needs to be supported. And so you need to handle your business and not just simply depend on others. If you're a member there, your name is on the roll. Look, don't let the pandemic stop you. I know so many people that have been blessed during the pandemic. So if God has kept you and you can still hear me and you can still see me, you need to know that we serve a great big God and that the blood of Jesus covers us even in the brick and mortar. That's right. Yes, we are yet practicing the CDC standards because we obey the laws of the land as well. But guess what? We got that double covering. Guess what? Isaiah 61:7 says that he'll give us double, yes, for our trouble at the end of the day. Yes. So I am just grateful and just thankful knowing that God is faithful to us. Okay, I got to make sure that you're up with me. We're going to start off with my great friend, Darius Twyman. Get y'all going. Get y'all up and moving. Yeah, get up. Yeah, turn on over and get up and just hang out with me. Come on, this song says Tell Me Where. Brand new off his new CD. See, hollering at y'all. Come on and just move with me wherever you are. I want you to share this show. Let people know that the Just Face It show is on tonight. Sonnie Day, Pastor Sonnie Day is here with me. Big Jake is in the house as well. Stick and stay with me. We'll be right back.
Tell me where will I be when the Lord comes for me? Will I be lying in my grave or standing with hands raised? Will I be walking down the street looking for some lost soul to meet? I'm wondering, where will I be? Anybody wondering? Where will I be? Come on, I'm wondering. Where will I be? Where will I be? Listen, tell me where. 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 Where will I be when the Lord comes for me? Sitting at a table, saying, God, I'm wondering, yeah. Will I be right or wrong? Or praise Tell me where. 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 Will I be? Come on and say. Will I be? Say. Will I be? Where? Anybody wondering? Your hand right there. When the Lord comes back for me. Where will I be? Come on. Got to be. Hey. It doesn't. Oh. It doesn't matter. Hey. Hey. No, it doesn't matter. Hey. Got to be ready. Wanna be ready. You better. You better. Your hand right there. Woo. Thank you, mama. Thank you, big mama. Making sure I knew to be ready.
All right, everybody. Yes, Darius Twyman, brand new from his latest CD. Yes, will you be ready? That is one of the biggest questions of the day. Will you be ready when Jesus comes? Because as sure as I'm sitting at this mic, he is definitely coming back. We're going to go to some commercials, and when we come back, my special guest is in the room, Pastor Sonnie Day. We know her for many, many things, and we're going to try to tap into as much of her as we can get. I really need about a week, a whole week with her to tap into all that she does. And I'm telling you, AKA, she is my pusher, Pusha. Yeah. She makes sure I get it done. And Big Jake is here. Big Jake, a new daddy. I got to check his energy. Yeah, I got to check his energy. Big Jake used to be, he was moving a little slow today. I think Baby Bash got him under some control. We'll be right back. Let's pay a couple of bills. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's a new beginning. So you're looking for a church home, huh? Then visit the New Foundation Christian Center Church, located at 8145 Finkel, right in the heart of the city of Detroit. Service time is at 11 o'clock a.m., where our pastor, Dr. Marshall Hall, and Evangelist Carolyn Hall is our First Lady. You don't want to miss it. Check us out at nfcc-church.org for more information. Be there. Testing.
You're
1, 2,
on,
3.
Staffy.
Hey, it's your girl, Staffy B, right here with the Just Faces show right here on Vent Radio. Tune in every Sunday from 10 p.m. till midnight, where we face life victoriously. Listen, real life, real people, real issues. Sponsored by the Good Helper Heating and Cooling, Mr. Kip Fowler. Be here, be there. All right, everybody, just a couple of difficulties there, but that's okay. I need you to support my sponsors. Yes, the Good Helpers Heating and Cooling. Mr. Kip Fowler, let him get you together before that snow starts up. You don't want it to be snowing and you're Frosty the Snowman in your own house. Give him a call at 313-270-3600 and he'll get you together. Let him know that I sent you, and he might even take $1 off your bill. How about that? I am worth $1, you know. Absolutely. And of course, we want you to visit the new Foundation Christian Center Church, located at 8145 Finkel, where the Spirit of the Lord is alive and doing well. No doubt about it. And that's located right in the heart of the city there. We're 11 o'clock in, and my dad happens to double as my pastor. What a privilege he has. Yes, and my mom, of course, Evangelist Carolyn Hall, Dr. Marshall Hall, I should say, is the pastor, and Evangelist Carolyn Hall is our first lady. So come through and see us. I tell you, we get it in over there. So we are a straight up deliverance church. You got some problems, some ailments, drop on in, and we will help you out, help you get through it. So visit us every Sunday. And check out our website, nfcc-church.org, and you can find out our order of services right there. All right, I want to get right to my guest, but before we do that, I'm going to play a song because not only is she an advocate for many things, she's also a recording artist as well, a pastor. I think they got 5 years, and we'll find all of that information out from her. Just an awesome woman of God. She and her husband, Elder Charleston Day, they making it happen over there right over there on Schaefer. Yeah, I just drew a blank. Schaefer and Finkel, right up the street. That's what happens, Jake. Yeah, okay. So let's go to a selection, and this song is called You. And when we come back, we're going to get right into some great conversation with my guest, Pastor Sonnie Day. We'll be right back. All right. Yes. Great music by my guest tonight. Let me welcome them. Song entitled You. And of course, you can pick it up on all social medias platforms. And she's going to tell us all about that. Welcome to the show, sister.
Hey, glad to be here.
You are absolutely no stranger to the mic, no stranger to social media, no stranger. Can we hear her? Bring your mic up just a little bit.
Mic up a little.
All right. Okay. Well, I said she was no stranger. I don't know. I better check.
Right. It's been a long time.
It's been a minute. Been 30 seconds.
Right.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and Big Jake is sitting over there with you. We're going to get to include him in this in just a few minutes. But first of all, let's just talk about you.
Okay.
Because that's why you're here. You've had about 15 Mountain Dews, I understand.
Yeah, and thank you. You've given me this is number 3.
Oh, my goodness.
So we're going to see what happens.
Oh, wow.
Because it's number 3.
This is your bedtime, I understand.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, about 10 o'clock, it's already, it's man down.
Wow.
Man down. So,
and I'm just getting...
Yeah, you getting riled up.
Yeah, I'm all riled up and stuff.
But a Mountain Dew helps me. That's my coffee that people like to drink, but Mountain Dew does it. All I need is one.
Okay.
But this is
3.
This is number 3, so I might.
So Elder Day, you better be ready.
Hopefully I can go to bed.
When she get home, you better be ready. Listen. First of all, let's talk about your music ministry. It's so much because I met you many years ago through your husband.
Yeah.
I met your husband many, many years ago when I was directing Eastern Michigan, and he was drummer in Pontiac. He's a Pontiac man, and we just connected, and you guys have just been instrumental in my son's life. I'm going to try to get it all in as much as I can. But let's talk about your music ministry. Okay. Just as a starter. Let's just talk about it. How did you get going? Because you have about, 8 albums?
I
Have
think
you lost
6.
count? 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think maybe 6 or 7.
Okay.
I want to say 6 to be for sure.
All right. And some of your stuff has been featured in movies. I mean, I don't even know where to start because there is so much to you. But talk about your music ministry and what do you want it to accomplish?
Okay. Well, as far as the music ministry, I started in 2002.
Okay.
So it's been a minute, and it was God-given. As you know, I work behind the scenes in gospel music. So I was the Detroit rep for Gospel Centric Records, which was Kirk Franklin, Byron Cage, Dorinda Clark Cole, J. Moss, Trinity 5-7, just the list goes on. So I was the rep for Detroit. So I promoted their music here in the city. Wow. They came to town. I was the one that took them to the radio stations, to the record stores back then, or even introduced them to new people in this area that will be instrumental to their, first their music was concerned. So fast forward, I God began to give me songs in my dreams, and I've never written a song, wrote poems as a middle schooler. But
Roses are red.
And he began to give me songs in my dreams, and from that, I'm like, okay, I hear music, I couldn't play an instrument, none of that, but I could hear the music, hear how it sounds, and so I began to write them down, and I ended up meeting my husband at a church where I was going to sing for a family friend, and asked me to sing, and I went there. He was playing the drums. And we end up talking or whatever, and I was still into promotion and stuff. And one of our dates, because I had shared with him, that I had this song, what I did and all this stuff, but I've been writing music or got songs in my dreams. So one of the dates we had, he had set up with one of his friends. He knew, with pretty much everybody. Set up with one of his friends at his studio. Okay. And that was our date for me to go record the songs that I heard
this story.
That was one of our dates for me to go.
That was a hook, line, and sinker for you.
Yeah. That was for me to record one of the songs that I wrote, and I had never been in the studio. Never did any of that. So that's how I started.
Okay.
And so I ended up doing, the demo of the songs, and put it out there, and boom.
Wow.
Then I end up we doing a live recording for my first project. Was You Visit Me Not.
Yeah.
And those were songs that, God had started giving me, and I was still doing promotions for these artists at the time.
Now, You Visit Me Not, let me jump in there, has something to do with another entity that you and your husband and Big Jake is involved in, and that's prison ministry.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
So from that song, that particular song I wrote called You Visit Me Not, it was from a message my dad was preaching in the book of Matthews, and God just began to give me the songs during church service, the words rather, during church service. So I started writing it down, and I did that song for a friend of ours that was at the time volunteering for Prison Fellowship, which is the largest prison ministry organization in the country.
Okay.
And so she invited me to sing that song. She heard my song, and she invited me to come to this event where the founder, Chuck Colson, he was Watergate scandal. Yeah. That's what he went to prison for.
Wow.
But he was the founder of Prison Fellowship because he promised the men when he was in prison that I'm not going to forget you guys when I get out.
Wow.
And he started Prison Fellowship. And so that opportunity came to me to sing at an event that he was at. And that song I wrote, You Visit Me Not, is what kind of opened the door for me to start doing prison ministry. So,
now, Big Jake, you get in on this because you've been instrumental with this part. We're going to be jumping around, so just be ready, Big Jake. You walk over there. Should I have bought you a Mountain Dew?
I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good.
okay.
Well,
Jake is a new dad, everybody. 4 weeks old today, I understand.
Yep.
Baby Bash. Sebastian is his name. Carter
Sebastian.
Sebastian Moore. Yeah, one more.
Yeah.
Yes, to him and his wonderful wife. We love Tiffany, and we shout out to her. She's probably up asleep. Or,
Hey, baby.
look. But how did you impact the prison ministry?
When God put me in the group and we started doing prison ministry, I just seen men crying. I seen men giving their life to Christ. The toughest men that you probably be afraid of in the streets. I see them, just conforming and really giving God a chance and opening up their hearts and receiving what we have to say.
Yeah.
I just was in awe, you know what I'm saying? And me and Pastor Day was able to relate to a lot of the inmates from, our past where we come from. So because we were relatable, we was able to reach them and through the power of God, through the anointing, and we just seen a lot of transformation, souls getting saved and people's lives being changed. And I'm just grateful to be a part of that.
Now, you guys are like really laid back on this, but you all have done phenomenal work in this prison ministry. Do you remember the number, how many you've done?
Man, I just know we've been doing it over 10 years.
Wow.
It's been 8 states and over 80 different prisons.
Oh,
but
wow.
we've been to them multiple times.
Wow.
But 80 different prisons in 8 different states.
Yeah.
Now why is, I went with you once and it was overwhelming to me, and I just wanted to let all those guys out. I forgot about what they did and all or whatever, because they're a different person.
Yep.
Once they get back there, and I just remember the one guy that had, it was the bring your kids.
Oh yeah.
And he had about 7 or 8 kids there, and it was just, and I think he was in for life, and I was like, how could I want him to get out, because he was so loving to his children. So talk about how the ministry changes people, and you even had one person come to the church from.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. We've been having countless people come by and let us know that they're out and fellowship with us and visit our church, and that's just a blessing in itself. It just showed that the fruit of our labor. And me growing up, I'm so passionate about it as well because I grew up since the age of 2 without my pops being here because he been locked up since I've been 2. So
and still locked up?
Yeah. So I just it just got a heart for it even more. And I just want to show the people that they're loved and not forgotten about Same thing with my pops. I keep in touch with him. Let him know that he's loved and not forgotten about, and that the grace of God is there.
Wow.
You know.
Wow. That is absolutely amazing, because so many, and I think a great portion of society has definitely forgotten about the people that are imprisoned. And, you know, a lot of people that I've spoken with said, well, if they did the crime, they should do the time. And maybe so, but they're still souls. And so what have you taken away from your prison ministry and what you've done there? What's your takeaway?
My takeaway is to always remain humble and not to look down on nobody, and to meet people where they are.
Wow.
That's my takeaway.
That's
Just,
great.
Stay sober-minded and know that you could be in that same place. So I just try to keep that in mind, and they just got caught.
They got caught.
That's
a whole lot of folks.
That's it. A whole lot of people haven't got caught. And I'm,
Yeah. I get that. Okay, it's so much to you guys, and I'm just gonna keep it moving. Your recent, you had a program, I should say. Elder Day, who was her husband. Let's talk about the church side of things, because I do want people to know that I didn't just find them somewhere. They're serving every Sunday and throughout the week. They're serving their community, and it's nothing to see them passing out chicken dinners. I've been a recipient. It's to their community and taking care of their community. Let's talk about the Road Church, because that's where you're from. Talk about your church.
Well, the church is called the Road Church, ROAD, which stands for Reach Out and Deliver.
Okay.
And it was founded by my mom and dad.
You're OPK.
Yes,
Yeah.
PK. By my mom and dad 25 years ago, actually, this year. And it started out as an outreach ministry. My dad wanted to go back. God told him to go back and get the people that he left behind from the lifestyle that he was living. And from that, the church started in our basement. And then from the basement, it went to Lewis College of Business, where we were there for 9 years.
Right.
And then it moved to Schaefer and Keeler, where we are now in the city of Detroit. And 3 years ago, I think it's 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago, my dad turned the ministry over to myself and my husband.
Wow.
And so we've been rocking ever since.
Yeah.
And in our second year, it's a pandemic.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
Yes.
Nobody thought about that as
Nobody
new
thought about it.
pastors. It's like, okay, you have momentum, you excited the first year, boom, boom, boom. And then bam, here come a pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, what you gonna do now?
Right, right.
And you had all these ideas and visions and stuff that you wanted to do for the ministry, and then you have a pandemic. So now you got to be able to shift.
Yes.
To be able to do different things. But I thank God for you.
Wow. What? What?
I thank God for you because listen,
Okay.
TCT.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
TCT television. You introduced me to that arena, right?
That's right.
And
That's right.
this guy here used to be a camera guy for TCT.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where we met him at.
Really?
TCT when we were on there doing a show. The Gideon crew was on there.
Okay.
So he was from TCT. So the training and the things that you learned from back then, you didn't know that you would have to be doing your own online church, which is really TV, basically. It's TV ministry.
It is.
But it's in the, online. It's another different level. So that particular experience and learning, all of that from your, opening that door for me has really blessed our church now to where we've been running online church for 2 years. We've had parking lot pull up, type thing. And we've been outside in our parking lot for since June. And we just went in our church today for the first time.
Oh, really? Really? Because you guys have been outside.
Yeah, we've been outside in the community. God's been doing some amazing things outside. And he said, now listen, I want you to go back in there and get comfortable. And forget about the people that's on the outside, because that's why I closed the church in the first place.
Right.
Because y'all was staying inside the church too much. Let me get y'all out here in these streets.
Brought you out of the four walls. And tell us some of the things that happened out there, because you got some great testimonies that came out of the street there.
Yes. We've had we've had probably more visitors to come outside the church than inside the church within the last year and a half. We've had people who, we've had over 25 to 30 people who have accepted Jesus Christ via online and outside. We've had people who in the community, as people just pull up and park and they get out and then they come and sow. They just come and bring money to the church and don't know us from, they just hear the word. So we've had people walking up from blocks and blocks away from within the community because we make sure the microphone echoes to where they can hear it, from a distance. We also had a brother who saw us outside who was actually from prison. He had got out. Yeah, he had got out in January of this year, and he was supposed to do life in prison. Wow. I think he served 25 years, and he ended up getting out, but he heard Pastor Day's voice, which is so crazy. He heard his voice riding down Schaefer, and he turned around, and he was like, okay, I know that voice from anywhere, because he remembered us ministering to him inside of Michigan Department of Corrections. And he came back, and sure enough, it was one of the brothers that, and he came back, and he came a couple of times to visit our church.
Well, that should make you feel really good that your work.
Yes, because you don't always get to see that on the outside. So
just sowing seed big time across the world, across many states. Listen, everybody, I'm talking to Pastor Sonnie Day and Big Jake. They're here in the studio right here at Vent Radio. We're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to play Sonnie Day's song, That's the Way Love Goes, because that's why she's here. We're going to be talking about domestic violence awareness. I wanted you all to get to know the artist, the person that's sitting beside me before we got into this kind of heavy topic. So please, ma'ams and sirs, share, especially if you know someone in this situation. Please go and share. I want to tell you we're going to be sharing some great information for you to live by. Okay? We'll be right back after this. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Hey, it's your girl, Staffy B, right here with the Just Basics show right here on Vent Radio. Tune in every Sunday from 10 p.m. till midnight where we face life victoriously. Listen, real life, real people, real issues. Sponsored by the Good Helper Heating and Cooling, Mr. Kip Fowler. Be here, be there. Welcome back. It's a new beginning. So you're looking for a church home, huh? Then visit the New Foundation Christian Center Church, located at 8145 Finkel, right in the heart of the city of Detroit. Service time is at 11 o'clock a.m., where our pastor, Dr. Marshall Hall, and evangelist Carolyn Hall is our first lady. You don't want to miss it. Check us out at nfcc-church.org for more information. Be there.
Or should I go? 'Cause I really don't know. He said that he loved her, but the abuse was undercover. She wore the shades and played a game of charades, telling herself it was gonna get better. For how you read the love letter, the love love goes. That's the way 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 love goes.
Yo.
That's the way love goes.
He grew up seeing altercations. He gathered that information that fit him like alterations. Abuses his reputation. Arguments, confrontations, bruises, lacerations. Flowers, nice vacations to keep up the situation. To stop family observations, he limited conversation. Moved to a new location to keep her in isolation. Leaving him was an obligation. Told police the situation. He used fear manipulation. She took back the allegations. He got out and blacked her eye. Started to shake her up, throwing her around. Got the kids waking up. He said, after this beating, girl, we making love, and by the way, death is the only way we breaking up. Listen, he said, if I can't have you, nobody will.
So do I leave or stay or just stand still? Or should I go? 'Cause I really don't know. That's the way love goes. That's the way love goes.
That's the way love goes.
That's the way love goes.
That's the way love goes. That's the way love goes.
That's the way love goes.
That's the way love goes. That's the way love goes.
That's the way love goes.
That's the way love goes.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes, yes. You never know on a live show what's going to happen. So we got the different version, but that was perfect to me. Gave Big Jake a chance to do what he does, and got Sonnie Day in to sing a little bit of live. We wasn't planning that, but I always love it. I always love it. But this song is very serious, and it speaks volumes about a subject that we don't like to talk about. It only gets a portion of October because as important as breast cancer awareness is, and we will never take away from that, but we don't see a whole lot of people spending time talking about domestic violence. It is a hidden, it is something that is concealed and nobody wants to talk about it. And people who are going through it, they've learned how to kind of play it off. And some people you never know that they were involved in domestic violence. Sonnie Day, this song, That's the Way Love Goes. How did this song come about?
Well, the song came about, I've always written songs that have some social issue component, whether it's homelessness or prison ministry, whatever. And then domestic violence is personal for me. I am a survivor of a domestic violence relationship from years ago. And my sister's niece was murdered a couple years back, I believe in 2015 or 2016, I believe it was. She was murdered by her ex-boyfriend at the time, which is her son's father. And he came up to her job and killed her while she was on her lunch break. And she was 21. I think she was 21 or 22. And so from that experience, it kind of hit home or got closer, and it was like, okay, I had already been talking about domestic violence, but never to a capacity where a message through song could be written. And so her name was Jamila, and that's the button I have here.
Okay. Okay, we are remembering her. Yeah.
She
oh boy.
She had left him actually, and of course
that's a key component because I know a couple people that were murdered, and they left. It looks like it gets worse. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, with abuse, a lot of times, well, the statistics says that it takes 7 attempts for a woman to leave her abuser. So 7 times she's going to contemplate, or she's going to leave, come back, leave, come back. Because it's about control.
Yeah.
And that's what abuse is. It's really power and control. And once a person has power and control over you, you kind of believe everything evolves around them. And so your behavior begins to be a part of your everyday life. And what they want you to do, all that different stuff. And so you kind of lose yourself. And in that, and most times when a female awakens, or she get, a revelation and say, this is not the life I want to live, blah, 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 and she decides to leave, that's when that part of the song where I said, if I can't have you, nobody will. Because that's a phrase that's 9 times out of 10 that is said to a woman that decides to leave their abuser. They'll end up telling them, if I can't have you, nobody will. And when they say that, they're meaning basically I'm going to harm you. And nobody else will be able to be with you. And most times when they do leave, that abuser, if you evolve around them in their life and they have that much power and control over you, they're either going to manipulate you to try to bring you back into that behavior, or they're going to attempt to harm you in some form or fashion. And so that's very common in domestic violence situations. And so she had decided, and had moved on. And had got her a place and, all of that, and had her job. And so we don't know how he ended up coming to the job. But
he probably was planning that.
He was plotting them, and watching.
Let me interject a bit, Jake. Because predominantly domestic violence takes place male against female. It is the opposite. There is a percentage where there is the opposite, but a lot of men don't want to come forward, and we get that. But help us, Big Jake. What goes through a man's mind? If you probably talked to some guys, what goes through the man's mind to say, "Hey, if I can't help you, nobody will." What is that?
To be honest, that's just insecurity. You don't really love yourself, and I just feel like a person that don't have no hope or no type of future or no type of clear path for himself or think like that. And I just feel like that's a control thing to keep them in fear and bondage. A lot of men want their women to fear them instead of love and respect them. And they'll use fear as a way to keep her around, but I mean, it's not really love though. So men will use fear to keep them around, to keep them away from other men, and just control. But it all stems from insecurity or not loving themselves, and don't believe that they can have somebody else other than that woman. You know what I'm saying? So, and it stems also from what they seen and witnessed growing up. All that.
I was going to ask: is this generational? Do you see it? Being passed down.
Man, me personally, when I got in my teenage years, I found out my mom's first husband had put a gun to her face.
Wow.
And that crushed me. I didn't even know it because I was little, so I'm all loving on my stepdad, was happy to see him because I was in elementary. But the whole time he was abusing my mom.
Wow.
And
now you never saw him abuse her?
No, I never seen it. It was hid from me. But eventually my mom told me about it, and I'm like, what? So that just crushed me. And then growing up in the streets, like, it was a natural, that always happened. I always seen dudes beating on women and spitting on them and, just degrading women on a deeper level than what we see. I've definitely seen that and been around and experienced it. And also I've been on the other side too, where I've dealt with a woman that was beating, trying to fight me and swinging on me, and just me not responding. It took everything in me to not retaliate. But I just told myself I don't want to have to beat you to get you to respect me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to beat you to get you to listen to me and love me. I feel like that's not the way.
But is that what she was accustomed to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Communicating with her fists and violence
Mm-hmm.
and all that type of stuff, and it just was it was a setup for me to get locked up or.
Right.
And
You're going.
And I really feel like if you can hit a person, if you can do something to hurt a person, you could kill them. I really believe that, and I just feel like that's the extent that the devil wants to take that to, especially with our men. The moment that we retaliate, the moment that we put our hands on these females, it's possible that we can kill her. It's possible that we can really damage this person. And I wasn't going through that, so I chose to leave the situation, but because it was just getting bad, and I found myself reacting worse and worse as it kept happening. And I'm like, I'm not going to jail. I'm doing prison ministry. What I look like going to jail for domestic violence.
Yeah.
And, so, I had to leave that situation. So I've been I seen abuse, and I also been a if you call it a victim. I wouldn't, but so yeah, it's real for sure.
Wow, very much so. My mom went through the gun thing when I was about 7 or 8 or something. Her first husband putting a gun to her, and I witnessed the fights. Praise God, I just didn't turn out to be that way, or want to fight somebody, because it could go the reverse too. Sonnie Day, you writing this song, was this because your niece was killed, or
much? Yeah, it was a part of it, because I just felt like the message, and then you would hear things on the news. I mean, women, being killed by their boyfriends, or their kids being killed, by the boyfriend, and just different stuff. So yes, it played a part with me saying, okay, music has a power to communicate a message that people will listen to quicker than they will your words. And so my mindset with writing it was, okay, if I can create a visual or a story that this young woman, because my passion is women, or even men for that matter, but if they can see or hear their story, versus they can realize that I'm in this situation. And so that was the reason of trying to write it to the point where I want to be able to tell the story about this young lady. But I also wanted, with Big Jake part that he wrote, I wanted him to give the signs of abuse. So if you listen to his part, he breaks down pretty much how it flows with abuse.
And tell us, what are some of the signs? I know we just think the typical, if we see the guy hit her or something like that, but it's deeper than that.
For sure.
Deeper. Give us some of the signs if you can.
It's 7 different types of abuse.
And just before you do that, listen, if you want to call us here, I am talking to Sonnie Day and Big Jake right here. We're talking about domestic violence. You can call us here at 248-429-7224 if you got questions or you want to share a portion of your story. But right now we're learning some things, but you can call us here. She's getting ready to give us some signs of an abuser.
Well, I can give you some warning signs.
Some warnings.
There's some questions that you can ask yourself, or if you've been asked. Is he very, very jealous? Does he or she want to know where you are every single minute? And this is very vital in the young people, because with social media, they get your passwords and you don't text back. But then so maybe, I tell young people, you're an abuser and don't even realize it.
Wow.
Does he drive away your friends or family? He or she?
Isolation?
Yeah. Does he have extreme highs or lows? Is he cruel to animals? Has he hit a former partner? Does he or she tell you in detail how terrible every former girlfriend or boyfriend was? Does he claim that former girlfriends or boyfriends lied about him and put him in jail? Does he believe you belong to him? Does he or she tell you it's you and me against the world? When he gets angry or she gets angry, are you afraid of them? Did they grow up in a violent family? Does he or she have, I can't help losing his temper? He can't help losing his temper. He or she says it's your fault when they get angry. Do they have contempt for women or men? And do they act like two totally different people? And does he or she tell you he has to restrain you for your own good? And so there's 7 different types of domestic violence, and it's physical abuse, emotional abuse.
I think that's the worst.
Emotional abuse.
I think so.
Yes, and
I
then
think so.
control and sexual abuse, intimidation and isolation, verbal and economic abuse.
Wow.
So there's 7 different types, and in each one of those, there are different, I guess, different scenarios that can be called abuse. And this past week, we just had our Purple Conversations at our church. We do a domestic violence event every year. And we had one of our young ladies go to our church, Attorney Myra Fagan, and she gave us what Michigan law says about domestic violence.
And speaking of Michigan law, you did some work in at Congress on the steps there.
Yeah, there's a rally that takes place every year for domestic violence. And shout out to Melissa and Tanisha for the coordinators of that. And they do a rally every year, and it's the 3rd year. And Jake and I did the song on the steps of the Capitol in the state of Michigan in Lansing. And so there's legislation that has come about because of this rally and the work that many advocates are doing.
And tell us what that is.
One of the laws that were passed was the address confidentiality, where the abuser, with Michigan law, they can know where you live, where you at. We get out of the situation, and now they can have access to your address, which a part of that law is still being worked out. But Governor Whitmer did sign the bill for that to be written into law, that they cannot know where you are as an abuser.
Because he's coming for you.
Yeah.
He's coming.
And then by law, he can.
Wow.
So imagine that. You know, I'm running from my abuser, but they can find out from a friend of a friend, whoever, and know where I'm at, me and my kids and all of that. We go into hiding. If children involved, it's on a whole nother level to where if you got children together, they can have access to those children. I know someone right now who's still fighting in court with their abuser and their child's father, and he gets to get the kids every weekend. This is a law of Michigan, and he has a right, even though he's on the court papers for abuse toward the mother. He still get to get the kids, and you ain't nothing you can say about it. So now you're worried whether or not this
he's going to take it out on the kids.
Yeah. All of it. Michigan law. So these are things that it's important that we gotta know what the law says, and then we gotta see how we can fight and change these policies.
Sure.
Because in the state of Michigan, an animal has more rights than a woman or man that's being abused in the state of Michigan.
That is crazy. Because one of your signs was a person abusing an animal. I never would have thought about that.
Yeah,
but
the animal has more rights in the state of Michigan than a man or a woman that abuses you. That man will get a misdemeanor.
Wow.
But that animal, you abuse the animal, you already know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you get the felony, you're going to jail.
But if I hit you or abuse you, my first offense, I'm getting a misdemeanor.
Wow.
And a $500 fine.
Wow. Where do you think that's super crazy. What do you think society, if you can go there, has dropped a ball when it has come to domestic violence? What do you think we've dropped the ball?
I would say we haven't broke the silence. Basically, we cover it up, or we think it's normal behavior, and especially in our community. Yeah, as Black people,
what goes on in this house
stays in this
house.
And, we're known to fight each other. Especially in relationships. Yeah, and then the TV shows don't help it any better than reality TV. Wow. So we're seeing this abuse perpetuated even in movies and all of this stuff. So it becomes our norm, and we think that it's normal behavior. And if he don't hit me or we don't fight, then that's not really love, Wow. So we've interpreted abuse as love, and that we've lost the real definition of what love is. Yeah. And that's why we have all of the stuff. That's
how would you define love? Because it is coming in many forms. You talked about the finances. the abuser taking over the finances or what have you, making sure she doesn't have money to get away.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if people know the real definition of love, and that may stem from how they were raised, how they were brought up. They might not know. So, like Big Jacob said, this girl might attribute him abusing her or hitting her back that he really cares about me. I don't need that kind of love.
Yeah.
Don't want that kind of love. And to those of you who are out there, you can call us here at 248-429-7224. We thank those who are on the radio actually listening. And those of you on YouTube, I see my mother say, I fought back. And I do remember my mother was 5 feet tall, and her abuser was like about 6'3". And I vividly remember her standing up to him and winning a lot of those fights. And so I am just blessed to God that she's even still here.
Wow.
So we are thankful to God that that you took time to create a video. I want talk about your video.
Well,
that goes with the song.
Yeah, the song is, we put a visual to the lyrics of the song, and we wanted to be able to really tell the story and how it happens. And shout out to a friend of mine, T Church. He's from Detroit, but he lives in LA. And
did a wonderful job.
He shot the video. He was in town for us. So he shot video for pretty much a lot of celebrities out in LA.
Yeah.
And Big Jake done his part. We kind of coordinated, and of course you gave some